Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to Bookmas, and today I am so excited to talk to you guys about my goals for 2024. Alright, so I am so excited for this video. I am a huge goal person. I am a visionary type of person, so I'm always like dreaming and planning about the future, and I also have a background in psychology and counseling, so I absolutely recognize the value of setting goals. And next year, 2024, for me, I think is going to be a really big year. My husband and I are anticipating a lot of big changes, which I will talk to you guys about more as those changes happen. But I'm just very, very eager to have a good year because I will be honest, this year, 2023, has been one of the worst years of my life in every area of wellness. Some of that has been a result of external factors, things that I have no control over, but I really feel like I did a bad job this year of creating structure in my life, having discipline. Discipline is going to be my word of 2024. But I was just really struggling, I think, in a lot of areas in 2023. And so I feel like in many ways I didn't accomplish much. I do think I grew in many areas, and it was kind of one of these years that I just needed to get through at my own pace. So I'm not super disappointed in myself for not like hitting a lot of career goals and things like that. But next year, like I said, discipline is going to be the word of the year, and I am extremely eager and ready to meet a lot of these goals. So I do have some goals for my other channel, Columbus Cozies, which is all about thrifting, and my reselling business, which is the main way that I do make money. So I'm not going to be talking about any of those goals in this video because I'm going to be making a video like this on that channel. But talking about this channel, Cozies and Classics, the goals that I have for myself subscriber-wise are to reach 5,000 subscribers, which is a big goal, and this is absolutely a goal that I can't really control in the sense that, of course, making a certain number of videos or making videos about certain topics or whatever, there's nothing I can really do that is going to guarantee that I get any number of subscribers. So this is, of course, a very loose goal, but I think if I am consistent with my uploads and I continue to make better and better quality videos, I think realistically I could get to that amount of subscribers. And honestly, my big goal for this channel at the beginning of this year was to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I did not post nearly as much as I wanted to on this channel. Sometimes I posted only like once or twice a month, and we are very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, so that definitely says a lot to me. But talking about posting, I really am holding myself to, unless I get very sick or something like that, I really want to be posting twice a week consistently, one of the videos being more of a very book-focused video, like a sit-down video like this, or maybe like a reading challenge, something like that, and then the other video still being at least loosely tied to books and reading and coziness, but that video might be more of a lifestyle vlog, like morning routines, healthy days in my life, things like that. But I really like the idea of having one of each kind of video every week. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions for me for like either of those categories, definitely let me know down below. Another thing that I really need to work on, just if I have any real hope of growing my channel a lot, is to post more shorts. And I will be honest, I am not a big short form content person. I don't really mind making them, it's not that. I just really don't like watching shorts or reels or TikToks, whatever. That's absolutely not the kind of content that I enjoy taking in. So just because of that, I kind of forget that I should be making shorts here on this channel. But they really take no time at all, so I am committed to putting at least one of those out a week. And talking about book goals, I do like to set book goals on my Goodreads. I've set the goal of reading 100 books for the last 2 years, and I didn't reach it either year. I think last year I read 82 books, which of course is still extremely solid. And this year, we're not quite at the end of the year yet, but I probably will end up reading like 86 or 87, I'd say. However, I'm gonna talk about this more in a minute, but I'm gonna really decrease my book goal. One, because it's just not mentally very healthy to have such a high goal that in reality I could reach the 100 book goal if I'm a little bit more focused, but I really don't want reading to become a chore, and I really do want to spend a lot more time this next year on other hobbies because I feel like reading was definitely my main hobby of the year and I didn't really accomplish a lot of other things that I wanted to. So I'm gonna set the bar pretty low for myself, 50 books. In reality, I'm going to pull out 8 books a month to read, one of those being nonfiction and one being some kind of classic. I definitely consider more modern books classics as well. But yeah, I got in the bad habit this past year of having really big TBRs that I knew I probably was not going to reach, but then every month that I didn't complete my TBR, I felt really bad. I felt like I was disappointing you guys, even though I know you really don't care. So I'm going to set much more manageable TBRs, and I am committed to reading more nonfiction and classics. So one of the main reasons that I am decreasing my reading goal is so I can focus much more on writing, which really is a huge passion of mine. Honestly, it's a big reason why I got into making YouTube in the first place. I haven't been on this channel for a super long time, but I actually have been creating YouTube content for 4 years now, which is insane. My other channel, which has now become a very thrifting focused channel, Columbus Cozies, that just started out as a general channel, just kind of general lifestyle, but with YouTube, you do have to niche down a bit. And if you ever want to know more about my YouTube experience, definitely feel free to leave any questions down below and I can create a whole nother video about that. But yeah, anyway, a big reason I started that YouTube channel 4 years ago was because I had written a book and I tried to get it published. And basically the big reason I found that I was turned down, and honestly, I didn't spend like a ton of time trying to get it published, finding an agent. I sent it out to a few different people and honestly got pretty discouraged and ended up self-publishing on Amazon. But the main reason that I was turned down was not because of my book, but because I did not have a big enough social media presence, and they absolutely encouraged me to have a YouTube channel, so I did do that. I should have just kind of started a booktube from the beginning 4 years ago, but I don't know why. I guess I didn't really realize it was a thing? I don't know, it's hard to remember. But here we are now, and that is absolutely a motivation for me to grow this book channel and grow my book Instagram. But going back to writing, I do want to post on Substack once a month, which I need to look a little bit more into, but I think it's just kind of like this online site where you can post newsletters or like blog posts or stories or whatever. I'm actually a great lover of short stories, so I'm gonna really challenge myself to write 1 short story a month in addition to working on other writing projects. And I will be then posting those short stories on my Substack. I think I am gonna charge like $1, but I will absolutely let you guys know more about that when I have that up and running. I also want to complete at least 2 manuscripts. My dad and I have been working on his memoir for over a year now, but like we haven't worked on it like this whole fall and winter season. So we really need to get back into that, and we just need to get that completed this year. We are gonna look into different publishers for his memoir, but worst case scenario, we absolutely will be publishing it through Amazon. So again, I will let you guys know more about that journey, and let me know if you want to see more of like my writing process. It's kind of hard to film videos, I feel like, about that because it's like me at my computer, but that is gonna be a big focus for me next year, so I would be very happy to share that with you. I also have been working on a historical fiction novel for like 2 years now, but again, there are large gaps of time where I don't work on it at all. But I am really excited about the story. I really like the story that I'm writing, and I just need to get it done. And another thing that I want to do with my writing is to enter a writing contest. If you are a writer, or if you just do artistic things in general, maybe you feel the way I feel, that sometimes it can be really hard to put your work out there. When I finished my first book called Crossing Worlds, which you can find on Amazon, I was so nervous to have people read it just because I had spent 3 years writing it. I wrote it the whole time I was in grad school, and to spend so much time on something and to have people say, "Ah, it sucks, it's no good," that's a very hard feeling. It's like a very personal part of you, I think. But it's kind of funny because my favorite movies of all time are Back to the Future, and if you've seen those movies, if you've seen the whole trilogy, you know that a big plot point that really changes the way history goes is that in the original version, Marty McFly's dad does not put his writing out there, and he doesn't get published because he never puts it out there. But in the alternate version, he does, and he becomes a very successful writer. So I've been trying to have that idea in the back of my mind a lot more, that I can't ever become a published author if I don't put my work out there. And honestly, a big reason that I did not do a lot of writing this year was because I really lacked structure. I feel like I was overwhelmed a lot because I do several different things that are different from each other, and I really let certain areas overtake the others. But the way I'm going to try to combat that this next year is to have certain days for certain tasks. So I'm extremely fortunate that I am able to pursue all my different interests freely. I used to work full-time, but with COVID, I was laid off, and my husband really encouraged me to write and do YouTube and sell clothing on Poshmark. That is the main way that I do make money. I also do work with a local nonprofit, so I have to do tasks for them as well. But what I'm thinking is that Mondays are going to be my thrifting and Poshmark days, and then Tuesday, Thursdays are gonna be my filming and editing days, and then Wednesday, Fridays are gonna be my writing / nonprofit work days. And I think that's gonna end up working very well for me, but I'm sure I will be doing like weeks in the life, things like that. So I will keep you posted on how that goes. And also in addition to that, like having a very solid morning routine as well as evening routine, stopping working at like 6 o'clock because I am so guilty of editing and being on my computer very late into the evening, right before going to bed, which I know is really bad. And my husband also works for himself, and he's kind of the same as me, where we are just a little bit too unstructured. So that's something that we're gonna work on together. Okay, but then talking about like personal, fitness, spiritual kind of goals, as I said, I am going to have a very solid morning routine. I have been very good about that in the past, but I just feel like especially over the 6 months, I've really fallen out of it, but I notice a big difference in myself when I do stick to my morning routine, especially because I am a morning person. For me, I found that a good rhythm is going to bed at 10 o'clock and getting up at 6 a.m. Like I said, I've fallen out of that a bit, but I know that that is what works well for me. And I am going to make a whole separate video about my morning routine and what I do in my morning routine as well as evening routine, so definitely stay tuned for that, because I'll probably put that out just in the next few weeks. Something I'm also really bad about is going on my phone right when I wake up because it's right by my bed. And I literally do have an alarm clock that is one of those, like, it just gets brighter as the time draws near for you to get up. So what I'm gonna do is just put my phone like out in the kitchen by 9 p.m. and not look at it after that. And if we have an emergency, I'm sure my husband will still have his phone on me, so I'm not too worried about that one. And then, as I said, I'm gonna get up at 6 a.m. and I really want to not look at my phone until we go to the gym, which will probably be about 9 a.m. So that's gonna be a challenge for me, but not looking at my phone for the first 3 hours of the day when I'm really focusing on reading and journaling and prayer time. I think that is gonna be a huge game changer for me. And talking about reducing screen time, I've decided to do something very drastic, which I also think is gonna be life-changing. So I'm actually not someone that watches like a lot of television. I do enjoy a good movie, but what really sucks me in is, not too surprisingly, YouTube. And how it kind of goes for me is, oh, I'll watch a video over breakfast, then I'll watch like a video or two over lunch, and then like that afternoon slump, I can get sucked into a few videos. So it's not even that I spend like a ton of time watching YouTube. I probably watch like an hour to an hour and a half a day, which for me in my current lifestyle, flexible schedule, no children, it's not that crazy, but I think about all that time and other things that I could be doing. And I've also found that even though I watch like really relaxing, cozy YouTubers that don't cause me a lot of stress, because I am a YouTuber myself, because I create videos, I find myself comparing a lot, and I don't want to be like that. So I'm doing something very drastic, and I am cold turkey going to be not watching any YouTube at all for the entire year of 2024. And I will be doing videos checking in with you guys, how I'm feeling about that, how difficult it is for me. And I know that's drastic. I originally was thinking maybe I would just watch like on Sundays or Saturdays, or just like pick one day of the week that I allowed myself to watch YouTube, but I'm a cold turkey kind of person, and I really want to challenge myself to do this. And of course, I do think that there are a lot of pros from watching YouTube videos. I really hope that when you guys watch my videos that you feel good and like comfortable, but maybe you can see my perspective that since I create myself, it can cause a lot of mental issues. Another way that I am going to reduce my screen time is by really limiting how much time I spend on Instagram. Actually, like the first 6 months of last year and even at the end of 2022, I was really good about staying off Instagram. I would only go on to post and then I would get off, and that was amazing. I felt so good. But then just kind of gradually, I got back more into it, and I definitely still don't spend as much time on Instagram as I did a few years ago. I was a victim to the scroll for sure. I really don't scroll too much anymore, but I still spend more time on there than I'd like. So I'm not gonna get rid of Instagram or anything. I really do love the overall concept, and it is a major way for me to grow my own businesses. But I'm absolutely recommitting to spending like 5 minutes or less on Instagram a day, which is really all I need to make posts. Okay, now talking about fitness. So one of my challenges of this last year and the last few years, really like my whole life in different ways, is that I do have PCOS, which is not that rare. So I'm sure statistically, at least some of you guys who are watching this video also have PCOS. And believe me, I get it. It causes so many issues that I won't even get into because none of them are cute. And there's no like cure or anything like that, but there are a lot of lifestyle changes that you can make that can just make your quality of life a lot better. And I did have a surgery this year where I got some cysts removed. I also have been working with 2 different doctors. One is more of just like a fertility specialist gynecologist, and the other one is more of a hormone specialist who is more about like natural things. So I'm incorporating a lot from both of these women, and I'm so grateful that I was able to meet them over this last year. And even though, like I said, I didn't accomplish a lot of like career things in my mind this last year, that was a huge accomplishment, just really getting somewhere in regards to my health. Because if you guys don't know too, I don't know how much I've talked about it on this channel, but I have been married for 5.5 years now, over 5.5 years, and my husband and I have pretty much tried to get pregnant that entire time. Not so much the first year, but it's been a long time of us trying for a child, which has been very trying in many different ways. This year has absolutely, I think, been the hardest for me in that regard. But all that to say, I am very committed to doing everything I can to get my PCOS under control and try to get pregnant this year. And again, I probably will make like healthy days in my life, like managing my PCOS videos in the future, especially if you guys say that you would be interested in that. So I'm not gonna get into everything that I'm gonna do here, but in general, I'm gonna be focusing on getting 10,000 steps a day, which is absolutely very doable, and just 30 minutes of daily movement. It's actually recommended with PCOS not to do like high intensity workouts because our cortisol is already too high, and doing like HIIT workouts just is gonna raise the cortisol even higher. So a lot of like walking, like 12-3-30 on the treadmill, hiking, slow weighted workouts, those are what I will be focusing on. Also, by getting rid of that YouTube time and being a little bit more focused with my work, I am really trying to get into other hobbies that I have been wanting to grow for the last few years. One of these, I don't know if you'd really call it a hobby, just more of a habit, is writing in a journal. And I find that people in my life are always really surprised that I don't have like a daily journal habit because I am a more artsy, fartsy person and I do like to write, but I've just never been able to stick with it. So I did treat myself this year. On Black Friday, I did get myself a beautiful notebook from Referral Paper Company, which has really gorgeous like stationery type things. So here it is. It's a great size. I can just throw it in my bag when I go to the coffee shop, whatever. Beautiful blue, and then all these flowers are like embroidered on there. It's also a really good size because a lot of the notebooks and journals I was looking at were like 180 pages, and I really want this to be like my 2024 journal. So this one I believe has about 350-ish pages, so hopefully I will be able to just use this for the entire year. And writing in that journal is absolutely going to be a part of my morning routine. And then the other thing that I treated myself with when I got that journal is this beautiful sketchbook, also from Referral Paper Company. This is a lot bigger and I love this color green. This is one of my favorite colors, and again it has all these beautiful flowers embroidered on the front, because in addition to writing in my daily journal, I also really want to be working on sketches. This I'm not necessarily going to do like every day, like a sketch a day, but maybe I will try to do like one sketch a week. But what I am committed to every day is doing this 365 days of drawing. So this was not really on my radar until I went to the book loft, and I did make a video about that, so definitely make sure to check it out if you didn't see it yet. But I saw this book and I thought it was perfect because in the back of my mind, I did want to do like some kind of little art challenge every day, but I wasn't quite sure what that was gonna look like. But I'd highly recommend looking into this book if you, like me, just want to get a little bit better at art throughout this year. So every day has like different challenges, and I think the fact that every day is different is really going to help me stay motivated, and that again is going to be maybe not part of my morning routine, maybe like a little lunch break routine. And then when it comes to spiritual goals, I definitely want to spend much more time in dedicated prayer. A lot of times it is just too quick, or I'm thinking about other things. So incorporating that more in my morning routine, spending time reading the Bible, as well as reading other religious nonfiction books. There also are some religious podcasts that I like to listen to, so I will be incorporating those into my morning walks. And this doesn't necessarily have to do with like religion necessarily, but I do want to spend more time just in silence. I feel like we're all so quick to just pick up our phones whenever we're eating or waiting or whatever, but I want to be a lot better about just like sitting and being mindful of the environment and letting God speak to me in that time, being prayerful in that time. Overall, I just really want to spend so much less time with screens next year, especially because I do edit a lot of videos, and that is a lot of time on screens. I just really want to break that habit of automatically reaching for a screen. So really, I've identified like 5 main skills and hobbies that I want to work on throughout the year. So some of these will be part of my morning routines. Other things will just be maybe like a few times a week. So the first is piano. I'm really like not a musical person. I'm not a good singer, nothing like that. It definitely doesn't come naturally to me, but my husband does have a keyboard and he actually is pretty good at music. So together I want us to work on our piano skills. For him, it'll just be brushing up and then getting better. But for me, it'll really be starting from zero. And I don't have any like aspirations of being some amazing piano player. I just want to be able to sit at a keyboard, sit at a piano, and play some songs. My husband and I have also not been very good about cooking, and I really like to bake. So we both are really excited to cook more together, sit down and eat our dinners together, because even though we're together all the time in the house, a lot of times we don't even eat our meals together just because we like to eat at different times. So that's something that we as a couple are very committed to, and I just want to like get more experience in the kitchen, learn how to cook more complex dishes, and I do love to bake, but I usually stick to pretty simple things, so I really want to expand my baking abilities as well. Drawing art, I've already talked about how I am going to be working on that, but I feel like of all artistic things, that's probably what I'm naturally best at. Not that I'm that great at any means, but when I have taken drawing classes in the past or whatever, I've really enjoyed it, and I felt like it was easier for me than, like other artsy things. Spanish is another thing that I'm gonna be working on. My sister just recommended Duolingo to me, so I think I'm gonna do that, also incorporate that in my morning routine. I'm pretty much gonna have like a 4-hour morning routine, and I'm very committed to that. As I said, I'm so fortunate that I have such a flexible schedule, and I am such a morning person. So I really just wanna have like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. be doing all of these things, essentially going to the gym and then coming back and getting ready for work, and then spending the evenings with my family and friends and with my husband. And then this is general, but kind of goes back to other things that I was talking about, just really improving my health and fitness, because I am like an athlete by nature, I guess. I always played sports. I really enjoy working out. I really enjoy playing sports and games and things like that, but I've really just like not been consistent enough this past year, which has led me not feeling good internally, not feeling good about myself. So really there are of course just so many benefits for me really focusing on my health and fitness. But all right, you guys, this video was probably so much longer than you ever thought a goal video could be, but I love goals so much. As I said, I am really committed to sticking to my goals this year, because I know from experience how bad I feel when I don't stick to them and how good I feel when I do. I'm so excited to make some big changes in my life, and I hope you guys will stick with me through that. But if you like this video, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.